And we are live. Yes, my beautiful people, Jamaican youth in the building again. It's been a while, It's been a while since I've done a live. And yeah, we're here for talk about um the Jamaica versus Guatemala game that recently just got finished yesterday. World Cup qualifier Jamaica 3. Um and the what I'd say, Jamaica 3, Guatemala nil. Yes. What a game. What a game, my beautiful people. Just kind of checking to see if everything is all right. You know what I mean? And, we don't see nobody on the live yet. But what overstand how that go? Normally, huh, normally I can see it going live on my stream, but I don't see it. So I'm wondering if I am really live. Anyway, let's just do a little check. Let's check a bit to see what's going on. See if I'm coming over live. Because, yeah, how come or something there? How come? All right, so I am live, but my um. All right, bear with me, people. Just making a few changes, cause I never realized that certain things never did go up. You dig. All right. Well, I'm going into the YouTube studio. Cause whenever I put up, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Yeah, see it there. See it there. If I put that on. Yeah. I'm on those put a better thumbnail than the one I have. That's all I want to do for now. Yeah, that's all I want to do for now. All right. Yeah, so today I talk about the dominant display by the Reggae Boyz versus Guatemala. And we here for talk about it. We here for break it down. We here for just put our own spin on things or our own what do you call it now? Our own breakdown on things. So I don't know what's going on, but here we are. We're back. All right. So yes, we don't really have anybody on the live yet, but we still are gonna keep it moving because don't know. But yeah, we here for talk about Jamaica versus Guatemala. It was a amazing game, a good game played by Jamaica. We looked strong, we looked dominant. We possessed the ball, we outclassed Guatemala, and I mean that's all you can really ask of them. You can only really ask that we do the job, and I think the job was done well. I think there was a good amount of um, you know, just application of what Steve McClaren is trying to do. I think I saw it in this game. I think Steve McClaren is trying to put his imprint on this team, and I really see an improvement. Now, the next thing is the consistency, obviously, because we saw what Jamaica did in the Unity Cup, and we were all pleased with it. I was pleased with it. A lot of fans seemed like they were pleased with it. And then we see coming out of the Unity Cup, we play the British Virgin Islands. We got that 1-0 victory, which is important to get the victory. But um, people weren't really pleased with the performance overall. And they would come back to Jamaica, playing Guatemala, and what a dominant display. I mean, I call Warner Brown the real deal. That's my name for him, the real deal. This guy is going to. He has a future. He has a really nice future. So I wanna kind of just break down. I don't plan to be long. I don't plan to be more than an hour ish. So I wanna break down my you know um feelings, my thoughts on the game, um from every aspect, from the coaching staff to the players to the fans in the stadium yesterday. But from first of all, good victory by Jamaica. Congratulations to the Reggae Boys, every single player. Congratulations to Steve McClaren and the coaching staff. 4 wins from 4 games in the World Cup, in this round of the World Cup qualifying. We move on now to the third round of the World Cup, the third and final round of the World Cup qualifying. And that's where no qualification to the World Cup comes. So by the end of the year, by the end of this year, we will know if Jamaica will be playing in the World Cup this year. So we're looking forward to seeing what teams get placed in our group. I know we will be a seeded team because of our rankings. So it will be some, I guess not as, not as, there will be weaker teams than us in our group, which is a good thing because we are, top ranked. So we will avoid playing Panama. We'll avoid playing Costa Rica. But let's talk about this game. First of all, you see, we started out with the starting lineup that we have here was Andre Blake in goal, Joel Latibeaudiere on the right wing back, Damian Lowe, Mason Oldgate, and Amari Bell. So Damian Lowe and Mason Oldgate started. I think Mason Oldgate subsequently had to come off in the first half because he seemed like he got injured. He limped off the field, and Richard King came in, who did a decent job. He actually did a pretty good job. Amari Bell there. Then John Russell and Isaac Hayden. Isaac Hayden more kind of the CDM. John Russell with a goal. Has been having an outstanding season at Barnsley, and also just a good overall season this year. Just on form, scoring some goals. They say Cephas on the right wing, Bailey on the left. I think this was a good change by the coach. I know a lot of people were asking for the Unity Cup squad, but him having Bailey there instead of Kaim Dixon, I think was a smart move. So yes. And then you see Demar Gray playing the number 10. He was kind of the central. A lot of people were asking for Ravel Morrison, but Demar Gray did an outstanding job. And then Warner Brown was up top. Man, like he was playing like a man hungry, like a man possessed, like he really wanted to score. You could see it in his eyes, you could see it in the way how he moves on the field, and he got his reward. Not only did he score 1 goal, he scored 2. He scored a brace, and this is very good for Warner Brown. I want to see him out of this, out of the JPL. I'm hoping that he will have an outstanding Gold Cup. I think he's capable of having an outstanding Gold Cup. I mean, the guy has been scoring a lot since he has been in Jamaican colors, and I don't know where this will leave the debate between a lot of people out there saying, boy, JPL players don't deserve to play on the national team. Well, look at Warner Brown. Look at Warner Brown. What do you say about that? No. What do you have to say about that? No. Know that this guy has, come out of the JPL, come into the national team, and is scoring like a man hungry to play for the national team. I don't know if we can go back to that because, at first people were saying the only people out of the JPL who deserve to be on the national team is Richard King and maybe Shaquan Davis. Well, what do you have to say about Warner Brown? Maybe, just maybe, we need to accept that we have to give players the opportunity. We have to give them the opportunity. You know what I mean? Whether we believe that whether them come from JPL or not, we have to give them the opportunity. So yeah, so this was our starting lineup. Jamaica started a little bit shaky, you know what I mean? Not really, for about the first 10, 15 minute-ish, Guatemala, I wouldn't say they outpossessed them, but it looked even. Stevens, Jamaica was a little bit on the back foot with Guatemala on the front foot. But pretty much after those 15 minutes subsided, it was lights out. Jamaica took control of the game right to the end of the game, and it was a brilliant display by the Reggae Boyz. Again, some notable standouts would have been Warner Brown, obviously with the brace, and I don't know if people really realize the complexity of the second goal that he scored. The second goal that he scored, the corner from the Mari Gray, and he stuck his foot out right into the back of the net. That's very close to being, top echelon, top notch goals that you can score. Not every striker score those types of goals, because that's kind of a half chance, really. If you really look at it, if you really analyze that goal, that was a bit of a half chance that he scored, Warner Brown. And then if you even look at the goal, the first goal he scored, which is Bailey, miss. I wouldn't say miss. His penalty was saved. Warner Brown was anticipating. He was over anticipating. So as soon as the keeper pushed that off, he was there to clean up that. You know what I mean? And put it in the back of the net. And that is the mark of an intuitive striker. You know what I mean? He is proactive. He's intuitive. He's. I think this guy has a really high ceiling. I call him the real deal. Warner Brown is the real deal. So between Warner Brown, Liam Bailey was good yesterday too. He was doing his job down there on the wing. The first goal came from that cross. Was a pinpoint cross right on the forehead of John Russell, and he put it away. You know what I mean? Very good game by Bailey. The Mara Gray was outstanding too. Cephas didn't impact the game in the way that he did in the Unity Cup, but I still think Cephas had a very good game, as well. Anytime he gets the ball and he powers away on that wing, you know what I mean? It's he's putting pressure on the defenders, and they can't keep up with him, and he is going to be necessary and needed in the Gold Cup. He's going to cause a lot of teams problems down there. But one of the things I have to speak to with Jamaica, I don't know if anybody even really noticed it, is the tempo and the sense of urgency that Jamaica played with. There was no lackadaisicalness. They wanted to move the ball around quickly. Everybody was in tune in terms of, we need this win. And not only do we need this win, we need a convincing win. Not just because we have already progressed to the other round, but the fact that the Jamaican public, or the local Jamaican crowd, needs a win inside the National Stadium. They need a win. The last time we won in Jamaica with Steve McClaren being coach was St. Vincent. Yes, but that was at Sabina Park. That's not really our regular homegrown. I think it was because something was going on at the stadium at the time why we didn't play at the stadium. We played at Sabina Park. So the winning at the office is important, and that's going to become an important thing going into this next round, because teams must come into Jamaica feeling fearful that they're not going to walk out of Jamaica with even a point. So very good display inside the National Stadium for the crowd, and so good games by the attacking players. I would say Warner Brown, Liam Bailey, Damari Gray, Cephas, John Russell, Isaac Hayden was good. They were all good, to be honest with you. I can't say anybody, Andre Blake had hardly anything to do. You know, nobody got any cards, no yellow cards, no red cards. And Joel Latibodiere playing right back, he plays. I don't know if anybody was making note of this, but he tended to be in the middle of the park more than he was playing the wing. You know what I mean? He tended to you know, kind of push himself more to the middle of the park than playing the wing. So, you know what I mean? He doesn't really stay out on the wing like a traditional winger when he plays for Jamaica. But I think Jamaica dominated so much that you might not even did notice so that they're going. You see me? So anyway, this was the starting lineup. Subsequently, Warner Brown came off for Roman Burrell later on in the game. Demari Gray, he came off too at some point, and Cephas, you know, and John Russell and Mason Holgate. I think Richard King came in for him. So good starting lineup, good game. If you look at the stats, you know, Jamaica 3, John Russell obviously scoring the 26th minute, Warner Brown in the 37th minute from the Liam Bailey penalty, and also in the 73rd minute where he scored that that goal from the Demari Gray corner. And so we have 3 goals. And so if you look at the stats, 18 shots from Jamaica to 5 from Guatemala. That shows the dominance. Shots on target, 8 shots on target by Jamaica, only 2 by Guatemala. Possession 57% by Jamaica, almost 60%, 43% Guatemala. Passes, 501 passes to 397 passes from Guatemala. And then passing accuracy, we had a 92% passing accuracy, while the passing accuracy from Guatemala was high as well, still inferior, 88%. And then fouls, only 10 fouls, well, 9 fouls committed by Guatemala, 10 fouls committed by Jamaica. There were no yellow cards or red cards. Jamaica was offside once, Guatemala twice, and then Jamaica had 5 corners to Guatemala's 1. So a dominant display by the Reggae Boyz, beating Guatemala. This is what we would like to see whenever we play against teams that we're ranked higher than, especially in CONCACAF. Especially in CONCACAF, we need to show that we are ranked higher, and not just that we are ranked higher in theory or on paper, but we display it as well. And I like seeing that. I like seeing that a lot. So let's look at some of the other details. You know, I wanna pull up the SOFA score rating for some of the players. So I'm gonna look at the ratings and see who were given higher score. So here we go. Let me see if I can share this with you now. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. So let me stop this right now. Let me just take this down for a minute. Remove this, and then I am going to share a screen. I don't know if I have this right. Extra camera, or is it share screen? Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we go. All right, so here we go. Good. So if we look at you know, if we look at the ratings right here, we see, you know, Jamaica generally get a 7.12 out of 10. It's showing that we played with a 4-2-3-1 formation, which is kind of debatable based on what we see. And we see Warner Brown being the highest rated player here with an 8.1 star rating. 2 goals, obviously, so that makes sense. Liam Bailey 7.4 is the third highest or the fourth highest rated player here. Damara Gray, I think, was outstanding. Cephas 6.8, Jonathan Russell 7.7, Damian Lowe 7.7. A lot of people always talk away about Damian Lowe, but I don't think people really appreciate this guy for his quality. He's a quality defender. Is he rash sometimes? Yes. Damian Lowe is rash sometimes. I mean, never get a card yesterday. I know a lot of people kind of want to think, at some point he will get a card. But, he is an outstanding defender in my book. I know not everybody going to agree with that, but Damian Lowe is outstanding. I didn't agree with playing in the midfield, as we say, in the BVI game. I know that he did a job for us against Canada last year with the Nations League, but I don't really think that is his position. He's a defender and should play in that role. Unless our backs are against the wall, as was the case in Canada, then you can probably push him up in the midfield, but there is where he belongs, I think. So he was outstanding, 7.7, never really did much wrong. As I said, Joel Latibodiere seemed to have been playing more in the middle than on the wing, but Jamaica was so dominant, you never even really, noticed it. And Andre Blake was Andre Blake as usual. Did a good job. Even that shot that was taken from towards the latter end of the game, where the shot was taken by the substitute. I don't remember his name. And he took a shot and he dove to his left and just got a tip to tip it out. That's outstanding. We take it for granted because Andre Blake is always outstanding. But that was a really good save. He was really on his game. He was really aware. And when that shot came, because he never really had to do much throughout the whole game, when that shot came, he was equal to the task. So, just want to thank those of you who are watching right now. I know it's just 3 or 4 of you, but we definitely appreciate the eyeballs. We appreciate you being here. And yeah, feel free to chime in on the game. But yeah, outstanding game by Andre Blake and the whole team, as you can see, very highly rated. And this is what I want to see moving forward. So let me take this down to again. I just kind of wanted to look at the player ratings. I think we can even go and look at some of the substitute. Richard King came on. Richard King was Richard King, 7.0 rating. And then the other players, I mean, they came on a little bit later in the game. They never really had much time to do anything. So, even though they were kind of rated a little bit lower than, some of the other players, I wouldn't read too much into that because they came on late. They came on later than the rest of the squad. So there is that. A good game by Jamaica. Player of the match is Warner Brown. And again, if I bring up this thing again about the JPL players getting an opportunity in the national team. Fans, we tend to be like, if you're playing in the JPL, you're not good enough. So even if a player is playing well in the JPL, and Warner Brown scored over 20 goals in the JPL, that's a high amount of goals. That's a lot of goals, So we say if a player is playing in the JPL, he doesn't really deserve to play in the national team. Not true. Not true. Warner Brown has proven that you can be playing in the JPL and also be good at international level. And Guatemala is not an easy team to beat. Warner Brown has proven that, and Richard King has proven that as well. You can be a JPL player and also be a good player internationally. You can be a JPL player and be better than somebody that's playing in a higher league. You can be a JPL player, a good JPL player, and be a good international player as well, because you have to remember, not everybody who is good at the club level is good at the international level. You can be outstanding playing for your club, but not outstanding playing for your country. You can be outstanding playing for your club and also outstanding playing for your country as well. And sometimes it doesn't really matter the level. I mean, if a player comes in and is scoring more than 20 goals in the JPL, that's a mark of an outstanding player. And he has proven it internationally as well. So kudos to Warner Brown. May he go on to do more, and may I hear that he has moved on to a higher league after this Gold Cup. So I want to go back to a few things that I wanted to say too. So we say a dominant display by Jamaica, few chances for Guatemala. Guatemala never had a lot of chances at us at all. You know, we never really felt all that threatened, you know, by anything from Guatemala. Leon Bailey and Damari Gray were outstanding. I single out these two people because they have been getting a lot of criticism based on the fact that Kahim Dixon and Ronaldo Cephas have been doing so well. But what has happened now is that Damari Gray has been pushed into the middle of the park, and now the coach is using Cephas and Leon Bailey on the wing, which I think is a good combination. You have that speed down one wing, and you have speed and creativity down the other wing. So it's like, no matter, I think this is the first time I saw both wings being really effective for Jamaica. Because down Cephas's wing, those wing back players were struggling to keep up with him whenever he decided to use his space and go down the wing and try and cross it. They were struggling to keep up with him. And then Leon Bailey was a menace down the right wing for Jamaica. I mean, like, he was, you know, twisting and turning and dancing around players and made a cross, and which led to the first goal. Then, as I said before, Warner Brown, he's the real deal. You know, that's my name for him, the real deal. Warner Brown, the real deal. And then Steve McClaren, come on. You know, a man that has gotten a lot of criticism from the fans. I think he's stamping his imprint on this team. I think from the first game that we saw against Cuba inside the National Stadium, we saw what he was trying to do. He's trying to play possession football. He's trying to have Jamaica control the game. You know, we are controlling the game with our possession of the ball. We are passing around. We are controlling the game. That's what Steve McClaren is trying to do. And I think slowly but surely, over time, he's stamping his imprint on this team. And I haven't really bought into the amount of criticism that he has gotten. Now, Mark Hugh, a lot of people were criticizing him for changing up the squad against the BVI, the British Virgin Islands. But let's just dive into that a little bit. Is it really that, you know what I mean, is it really that crazy that he changed up the squad against BVI? I mean, is it BVI is ranked 100 and something in the world? Technically, we should be able to choose a JPL team or a JPL All-Stars team and beat the BVI. You know, with the amount of talent we have on Jamaica's squad, no matter how much, no matter what combination of players that we put together and you know, and put on the field, we should be able to beat the BVI. In addition to that, I think McClaren was trying to rest some players. He was trying to rest in the BVI game. He was trying to keep some players fresh for the Guatemala game, which is a harder game, which is probably thinking ahead and saying, we need to put in a dominant display when we play inside the National Stadium. We haven't done that over time. And so this time around, we need to do that. So let's not play certain players, keep them fresh for the game against Guatemala. And I think, you know, we got the job done. We got the one goal. It was only a goal. And yeah, we would have loved to see at least 3 or more goals. But, you know, sometimes when a team play a low block where they're not trying to score against you, they're just trying to keep you from scoring against them, it can happen. You know, we saw England play Andorra the other day, which with the same style, low block. England was only able to beat them by a 0-0. So, and then the pitch in the BVI wasn't the best either. So he was keeping some players fresh and rotating them so that now in the Guatemala game, you have a better surface. You're in front of your home crowd. You have that momentum from the home crowd. You could give a better display. So I'm not going to beat him for the BVI game, especially since the job was gotten. You got the job done. Guatemala had a superior goal difference, yes, but at the end of the day, Jamaica is the better team. Jamaica was the better team, put in a dominant performance against Guatemala, and no, that has given us a psychological advantage going into the Gold Cup. That has given us a psychological advantage going into the Gold Cup. We're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to see how Jamaica will move this momentum from the Unity Cup, from this World Cup qualifier into the Gold Cup, and see what type of run that we can make in that. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But I just want to say that Steve McClaren is putting his imprint on this team. He's coming with new ideas. You notice in the Unity Cup, you see him going up the steps and staying in the stands and looking, having a global view of what's going on in the field, and coming back and giving instructions and going back again, and so on and so forth. He is invested in what is going on the field during the game. So we like what Steve McClaren is doing. I know he has gotten a lot of criticism, but I think slowly but surely the trajectory is good, because by the time Jamaica ends this World Cup and now starts the third and final round of the World Cup qualifiers, we should be a well-oiled machine. We should be ready to qualify for the World Cup. We have done ourselves proud to keep atop of our group in the World Cup qualifying. We are highly ranked in FIFA and in CONCACAF. So any team that is put in our group, it should be a team ranked below us, essentially. So the ball is going to be in our court. So kudos to Steve McClaren. I think he's doing a good job. But I also want to speak to the fan support. We didn't see a lot or as full a stadium in the game against Guatemala. I mean, it was a decent turnout. Let's not go around that. It was a decent or an okay turnout. However, I think that the support needs to be a lot more going into the final round, the third round of the World Cup qualifying. We're going to need to see that stadium full, because we have an outstanding chance of qualifying for the World Cup now. You know what I mean? Every team that will be in the group that we are in will be an inferior team to us, and we need to top that group. So every home game must be won. We have to win every home game. And the 12th man is going to play an important role in that. So the fan support is going to need to be significantly more than what it has been or what it was last night. We need to see a full stadium. But we give thanks for the support still and everything. So overall dominant performance by Jamaica, man. We like that. So if you're hearing me now, just hit the like button, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. All three of you. So thank you for being here. But hit the like button and feel free to comment. I'm not saying nobody, I send out in the comment sections. So yeah, feel free to post a comment if you have one. All right. So we just want to kind of look ahead for the Gold Cup. The Gold Cup, what are my expectations of Jamaica for the Gold Cup? I think, Jamaica must be dominant and beat all teams ranked below them. We see that in this group that we have coming up, Jamaica is in the group with Panama, Guatemala, and Guadeloupe. So we're looking for 3 points against Guatemala and Guadeloupe. That should at least be up for a minimum. Against Panama, however, that might be a tougher game. We play it at the end of the tournament or the end of the group. So, it's important that result is going to be important, because winning the group will determine who will play in the next round. So let's just pull that up for a little bit. Let's pull up the Gold Cup groups. and let's just kind of analyze what Jamaica is doing there. You know, we play Guatemala first, they will play Guadeloupe second, and they will play Panama last. But we want to see what group, if we win the group, who we will play, because those things are kind of important to look ahead in. You know what I mean? It's very important to look ahead. You know, who we will play. Let me see. All right, so here it is. 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup. It's important to see who we're going to play in the quarterfinal if we win the group. So let's just scroll down to that. It's a knockout stage. See their quarterfinals. I'm only seeing. So I think, you know, I had this the other day. Squads, qualification, I'm sure the venues. All right. We're coming to it, people. Just bear with me. Just bear with me a little bit. Group B, Group C, Group D. Knockout stage. In the knockout stage, if the scores are equal, quarterfinals. It seems like I forgot on the CONCACAF page. Because apparently the Wikipedia is not really telling me how it's gonna break down. So I'm going to go on CONCACAF website and figure this out. Gold Cup C tier. All you need to know, C tier. So all right. So Group A. All right, C tier. So no. So we are in Jamaica is in Group C, right? After Gold Cup. Everybody with me so far? Group C, we're in. And if we win Group C, we will play the second place team from Group B. So let's see who is in Group B. Let's see who is in Group B. Group B has, oh no, that's a part. Group B has Canada, Honduras, El Salvador, and Curacao. I'm pretty sure Canada is going to win that. It's going to win that group. So this is important for us to win, you know. Group B has Canada, Honduras, El Salvador, and Curacao. So essentially, if we win our group, we are playing either Honduras, El Salvador, or Curacao. I would say Honduras. I would say more than likely Honduras. If we win our group, Honduras is who we're going to be playing. You know what I mean? So, but let's dig a little further. Let's say we don't win the group, I will come second. 1B will play against 2C. So I think that would be a Jamaica-Canada game because Canada. So we're on a collision course with Group B. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I'm not really that afraid of Canada still, you know. I'm not that afraid of Canada. We have beaten Canada in Canada before. And, you know, back in the day, Canada used to be the team we beat. But now, Canada is a better team. You know what I mean? Like, they have Jesse Marsh as their coach. And, you know, they are more, you know, I would say, yeah, they are more consistent. And they have better players. I mean, you have Jonathan David. The guy is on, the man that on fire. You see me? You have Alfonso Davis and the guy one named Buchanan. You have Kyle Lauren. You have a Stacquio. You have a lot of good players in Canada now. You have a lot of good players in Canada. So while I'm not really afraid for play Canada, I would prefer for us to win the group with Panama in it, and that would give us a psychological advantage over Panama and move us up in the ranking in CONCACAF. Very important too. So I would like us to beat Canada or to beat Panama, to top the group over Panama, and then give us a chance to play either El Salvador, Curacao, or Honduras in the quarterfinals. That's what I would like, because should be too early now. Curacao is not a joke team, you know. Curacao will actually beat Honduras if Honduras is not careful. So I would love to see Jamaica win the group with Panama, beating Panama to top the group, and then I think that is a clear-cut path to the semi-final. So I would at least like to see a semi-final run, because once you're in the semi-final now, you know, is who wants it more? Because if you look at the teams in the Gold Cup this run around, if we can get by Panama, and we can top the group over Panama, we get a good team, or a team that is beatable in the quarterfinal. Where in the semifinal, there are only really two teams I would consider really strong in the Gold Cup. If you take out Panama out of it, considering it will beat Panama, right? That would only leave Mexico and Canada, because the US hasn't really brought a strong team, and they have been not doing too well of late. They lost 2-1 to Turkey, and then get 4-0 from Switzerland yesterday as well. So they're not really on the best form right now, USA. So they are open to be beaten, pretty much. I think Jamaica is on a much better momentum now and is on much better form than the US. So I think that they are beatable, right? But it leaves Canada and Mexico. Mexico is a strong team. So if I could, I would rather leave Mexico until the final. But any other team, I wouldn't be afraid to face them right now. So if we look again, because let's and I will let me put it. Let me take this down for a minute. You know what I mean? Let me take this down for a minute and pull up the Gold Cup screen. Stop screen no. Want to pull up the Gold Cup screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. Stop screen, what that? No. Okay. Let's be with me again there. Image file, video file, slides on PDF. That's not what I want. Share screen. So I miss. All right. So here it is, people. This is the Gold Cup thing that we're talking about. If you notice here, it says quarterfinal 1. This is what I was talking about. Quarterfinal 3, 1C versus 2B. So 1C is if Jamaica wins that group, would play the second place team out of Group B, which I am assuming will be Honduras. So Jamaica need to win the game. And this is assuming Jamaica beat Guatemala and Guadeloupe. And that's, just by baseball rankings. This game will be important for Jamaica. Jamaica has beaten Panama before in the Nations League. Let's not forget that. So it's not like it is impossible. So let's say Jamaica beat Panama, right? No, we are 1B. We're 1C. I will play 2B, Honduras, right? So 1C versus 2B. I think that's a good matchup for us. I think that we could win that game. So this is saying semifinal 1 would be the winner of quarterfinal 1 versus winner of quarterfinal 4. So we're not in that. Semifinal 2 would be quarterfinal 2 versus quarterfinal 3. The winner of quarterfinal 2 versus the winner of quarterfinal 3. So quarterfinal 2 would be this. and quarterfinal 3 would be this. So let's look. Let's say we look out, or we perform really well and we win quarterfinal. We were 1C, we get 2B for play, we win that. Who would this be? 1A, Mexico. So that's the only part I like, because Mexico would probably going to win this group. I'm assuming Mexico will probably win this group, and they're going to play 2D. The second place team out of this group, that could very well be the United States, because the United States not that strong. Saudi Arabia could come with a really good team and top that group. So I'm not thinking Trinidad or Haiti is going to top that group. But you never know. Haiti can give the US a hard time. Trinidad can also give the US a hard time. But let's say nothing like that not happen. I would see maybe the United States winning that group, Saudi Arabia coming second by the law of rankings. You see me? United States winning, Saudi Arabia coming second. So the United States would be 1D, so them gone somewhere else, and 2D would be Saudi Arabia. So that 1A versus 2D game might not necessarily be easy for Mexico. That could be a Mexico versus Saudi Arabia clash. Or it could be based on the United States form. No, who knows? Saudi Arabia could win that group and the US comes second. In which case, you would say a quarterfinal being, Mexico versus the US. Which, funny enough, I think that Mexico is a better team than the US. But for some reason, whenever Mexico plays the US beats them a lot. I don't understand it. Like, Mexico is the best team in CONCACAF by rankings in CONCACAF and just by history. But for some reason, whenever they play the US, they don't play as well. So this group is not 100% sure what's going to happen here. This group could be won by Saudi Arabia. It could be won by the US. But based on the form of the US now, you could very well say Trinidad and Tobago putting them under some pressure. Trinidad and Tobago is not Trinidad and Tobago has beaten the US in the past. It's not an impossible thing. They haven't beaten them off. They haven't beaten them. The only times they've beaten them is in Trinidad, though, by, in fair disclosure. But they have beaten the United States before, and the United States is a weakened team. They're not on good form, so they are open to be beaten, I think. And Haiti is always a strong team. Haiti, it's not impossible that Haiti could also topple the United States, given the way that they're playing right now. But I think this group is going to either be won by the US or Saudi Arabia. That's what I think. And then, so Jamaica would be on a collision course with Mexico in the semifinals. Now, one could say, boy, I don't really want to see Mexico yet in the semifinals. But the truth of the matter is, if you're going to win CONCACAF, you have to beat those teams. So you have to beat a combination of Mexico and the US, Mexico and Canada, or US and Canada, Canada and Mexico. You know what I mean? You have to beat a combination of two of those teams. And in our case, we might have to end up beating Panama too, because we have to top that group. We have to top that group in order to give ourselves a good chance to make it to the semifinal. Because once we top our Gold Cup group, that's the best chance for us to make it to the semifinal. You know what I mean? So very important that we top that group, because, and then the semifinal that we would be in would be likely, let's say we win that quarterfinal, it would be Jamaica versus, I am thinking 1D versus 2A. That would be, for now, let's say the United States versus 2A would be Costa Rica. I'm thinking Costa Rica will come second in this group. But this group is a tough group to still, if you look at it. Mexico, Costa Rica, Suriname, Damrep. these are good teams. Dumrep, because of how Guatemala beat them recently, I am less inclined to think that they're going to make any noise in the Gold Cup. But Suriname is no walkover. They're no joke. If you watch Suriname versus who were they playing last night? El Salvador. Suriname versus El Salvador recently, Suriname was dominating possession of the game. They were dominating. They silenced the crowd in El Salvador. And that was without Sheraldo Becker. They didn't have Sheraldo Becker at that time. So Suriname is going to give Costa Rica a run for their money. It's not a certainty that Costa Rica will be the second. Remember, Suriname made a good run. They made it to the quarterfinals of the Nations League last time. So Suriname might, upset the apple cart here. It's not going to be an easy group here. I think this group is straightforward. Canada, Honduras, El Salvador, Curacao. I think Curacao will put up a fight, but I think Canada and Honduras are the stronger teams in this group. So I would say, Canada and Honduras will come through here. In Group C, Panama, Jamaica, Guatemala, Guadeloupe. I think Panama and Jamaica will come through. I think there's too large of a gap between Panama and Jamaica. With Panama and Jamaica versus Guatemala and Guadeloupe, there's a large gap there. So I don't think, anything can happen still. As we say in Jamaica, any number can play. But I'm going to say Guatemala and Guadeloupe will not make it through. I think it will be Panama and Jamaica. I just really think it's going to be left up to that last game to see who tops the group. And it's not going to be a game that doesn't mean nothing. It means a lot, because the person, if we assume that Panama will beat Guatemala and Guadeloupe, and Jamaica will also beat Guatemala and Guadeloupe, the person who wins that group, the team who wins that group, will have a much easier quarterfinal than the team that doesn't win that group. Now, what I will say, Jamaica must win this group, because I think Panama versus Canada is a better matchup than Jamaica versus Canada. I think Panama stand a better chance of beating Jamaica. Sorry, Panama stand a better chance of beating Canada than Jamaica beating Canada. I just think Panama will give Canada a much tougher fight than Jamaica would. Whereas I think if Jamaica plays Canada, it's less likely. But Jamaica playing Honduras, I think that's likely a win for Jamaica right there. So I would love to see Jamaica beat Panama to top the group, and let Panama play Canada in the quarterfinals. Jamaica will play Honduras and make it to the semifinals. Then Group D, I don't think is as easy a group either, because the US is a weakened team. But the US being weak in the context of CONCACAF might not really mean much, because the US, even if they're weak, they might be stronger than a lot of CONCACAF teams. But I think Saudi Arabia, with the Saudi Pro League and all of the players that they're able to get in their team now, I think they will be a strong team. Remember that Saudi Arabia actually beat Argentina in the World Cup. So Saudi Arabia is not a soft team. Sanjay Brooks, bless up yourself. Wagwan. Who would Jamaica play in the semis if we win the group and beat Honduras in the quarters? So who I think we will play is, all right. So Jamaica play in the semis. All right. So let's say we get through to the semi. It would be quarterfinal 2 versus quarterfinal 3. And we are in quarterfinal 3. So 1A versus 2D. So 1A is Mexico. That's what I say. I think it would have been Mexico. Is it me? Because it would have been, let me see, winner of quarterfinal 2. We're in a quarterfinal 3, right? So 1A. which would be, I think, Mexico. No, these are the quarterfinal matchup. Okay, so Mexico versus 2D. No, that is a tricky question because this is what me think. Mexico probably have the strongest team right now. I think Mexico have the strongest team of all the teams in the Gold Cup. Now going into this Gold Cup, Mexico has the strongest team, followed by maybe Canada, then maybe Panama. But that's a maybe. I think Jamaica versus Panama will prove it. But anytime Mexico play the United States, they tend not to play as well. They tend to find a way to lose to the United States. So it's tough to say because here is why. If this quarterfinal is 1A, which is Mexico, I'm assuming will be, versus 2D, the second place team in this group, I believe that because of the United States weakened team right now, they could very well finish second in this group. And the group could be won by Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia probably is coming. They're playing outside of their confederation. They probably want to make a stamp. And with the Saudi Pro League improving by leaps and bounds, with them beating Argentina in the World Cup recently, and the US having a weakened team, I think that it's quite possible, quite plausible that they could finish first in this group. Then, if they finish first in this group, then this quarterfinal would be Mexico versus the United States, right? In this quarterfinal. If that happens, any number can play right or so. Because I just don't feel like Mexico plays the US well. Regardless of the team that the US brings, they've always find a way to lose to the US or lose to Mexico. So any number can play right or so. And so I would say the semifinal that we would play would either be Mexico or the United States. That's what I would say. With it likely being Mexico, more likely because Mexico has a stronger team than the US. But what could happen? Who knows what could happen? What if USA wins the group, Saudi Arabia comes second, Saudi Arabia plays Mexico and somehow knocks out Mexico right here? Could we see a possible Jamaica versus Saudi Arabia semifinal? I don't know. That's why I say these groups, I think Group B and Group C, it's easy to predict, but Group A and Group D is not as easy to predict. I think Mexico will win Group A, but I am not so sure Costa Rica. I'm not going to go to a limb and say Costa Rica is definitely going to come second. Because Suriname is playing some lights out football. They could possibly get by Costa Rica. Possibly. But if you go by rankings, it would be Mexico and Costa Rica. Damrep, I don't think is in it. And then Group D, because of USA's weakened status, I think you could very well say, it could be Saudi Arabia winning this group with the US coming second. So you don't know. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Sanjay Brooks again say, I think that would be perfect. I think that would be the perfect semi for us as a team where we are now with the World Cup coming up, Jamaica versus Saudi Arabia. I mean, that would definitely, would I love to see that too, because that would give us some international competition, something outside of the confederation where you don't really know the style of play as much. Because every team we're playing at CONCACAF, we kind of know what to expect from them. But Saudi Arabia, not so much. We don't play teams like this a lot. But who knows? I mean, like these two groups, Group A and Group D, are the least predictable groups. So, it could very well be any number can play with this. But I think that Jamaica need to give themselves the best shot at winning this is by winning our group. That is what we need to focus on. We need to focus on winning our group because I think once we win this group, given how predictable I think Group B is, I think if we win our group, we can almost, I don't want to, nothing is guaranteed in life, but we can almost guarantee a place in the semifinal if we win our group. So that is what we need to do. Make sure so we get to the semifinal, because when we get to the semifinals, even if it's Mexico we end up facing in the semifinals, this to me, this Jamaica team is a is a vastly improved team from what we have seen in the past. You know, we look at how they played against Nigeria in the Unity Cup. You know, going toe to toe with a team like that. You know what I mean? If we play like that, if we play like how we played against Nigeria and play like how we play against Guatemala last night, if we play this tournament like how we play against those two teams, you know what I mean? I think we stand a good chance of making a very deep run, like going to the final deep, deep. But we can't shut off because we tend to do that. You know what I mean? Like we tend to drop our standard or play down to the competition. You know, last night was a good display of us being proactive and looking sharp and we're not looking lackadaisical and not taking it easy at any time. We kept our foot on the gas after the first 15 minutes. You know, the first 15 minutes we had some, we weren't stable. The game didn't settle. But once the game settled and we put our foot on the gas, it was straight to the end of the game. That's how we have to play. But I think it's not just putting foot on the gas, it's the demeanor of the players. You know, it's the demeanor. Everybody had that attitude like we have to win this game. It's like there was this fire in their belly that we have to win this game. You know what I mean? Even though winning this game or losing this game or drawing this game is not going to change what's going to happen in the next round, but we have to show that we have to get that psychological edge. We wanted to win last time. We wanted to win more than Guatemala. And I'm saying that the talent is there, is the attitude that we need. That attitude we need to bring that in the Gold Cup. The attitude from the Unity Cup, the attitude from last night, bring that in the Gold Cup. If that happens, I see us making a big run or a deep run. I see us possibly tapping our group and making a deep run into the Gold Cup. So, yes, this is what I think is going to happen. You know what I mean? That final game against Panama is going to be, crucial. Andre Brooks said, would you change anything about the team going into the Guatemala game next week? That's a good question. I hear the coach saying that he's going to, or it's, well, not that he's going to, but it's going to be a different team or a different game, a completely different game for the Gold Cup, because Guatemala will likely come with a different attitude or, come with a different, team even. Me personally wouldn't change anything. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Like you have, I just can't see what would need to change. And you have Andre Blake in goal. He started Mason Holgate and D'Lo, which is fine to me. He had Latiba there and in right back and Amari Bell in left back. I don't see what about that needs to change at all. Latiba kind of played more in the middle of the park, which is kind of interesting because he was playing wing back, but he found himself in the middle of the park a lot of the times. Demarai Gray played the number 10 role very well. To me, I know Bobby Reid will be coming back though, so Bobby Reid and Ethan Pinnock will be in the team, so that might cause some changes. You might see, Ethan Pinnock finding his way in the team. I don't think he needs to force Bobby Reid into the team though, because Bobby Reid is essentially going to do the same thing that Demarai Gray is going to do. So unless you're going to play Bobby Reid and Demarai Gray and Isaac Hayden behind them, that's the only change I could probably see. If you play Demarai Gray, Bobby Reid, and Isaac Hayden in the CDM role, then possibly that could work. But that would mean that you take out John Russell, which I wouldn't be in agreement with that at all. John Russell is on form. You know what I mean? Antonio Reid and Pinnock is coming back. Yeah, yeah. Antonio, I mean, the sure same now to start Antonio, bro. Mikel Antonio. There's no way Mikel Antonio can start. Bobby Reid is coming back. Pinnock is coming back. And you'll think them, that would be the right thing to do, because you can't really go start them Monday. No, I would start the same team. Yeah, I would have Liam Bailey, Cephas, they had no answer for them. So why would you change it? Like Guatemala had no answer for the team last night. So I don't see a reason that you would need to change it, especially this being your first game of the tournament. You want to get on the board as quickly as possible, get the 3 points on the board as quickly as possible. I wouldn't see a need to change anything at all. So yeah, I would. Would you change anything, Sanjay Brooks? Well, is there anything that you think would need to change? I wouldn't even change Warner Brown. Warner Brown has now punched his ticket as the starting striker, the real deal. I call Warner Brown the real deal. Is him have to be the starting striker. You can't start nobody else over him. He has performed really well. And again, I said it earlier in the stream, you know, this is crucial for JPL players because a lot of fans don't believe that JPL players should be playing in the national team. They're not good enough. That's what everybody keeps saying. But look at Warner Brown's performance last night. Look how hungry he was. And look at the second goal that he scored. Even the first goal too, you know, because it tells you the character of the striker, right? He was so into it. He was so aware. His lights were on that he already anticipated that there's a possibility that this penalty might be saved. And if it gets saved, boom, I'm there to clean it up or to score it. Is it me? So that shows his awareness. The other thing, the second goal shows is not everybody can score that goal. It's not everybody can score that type of goal. Where he comes in from the corner and the sticking foot up, boom. It's a half chance, you know. That was a half chance, you know. It's not like that was a clear-cut opportunity. That was a half chance. So nobody, Warner Brown, Richard King to a lesser extent, because everybody know that Richard King should be out of the JPL a long time ago. So I'm not going to call him, but Warner Brown proves that JPL players have to get an opportunity in the national team if they're doing well in the domestic league. There's nothing wrong with that. Brazil does it. Brazil put on they will play them boss local baller all the while. Brazil boss local baller all the while. You know what I mean? The US does it. They bring MLS players too. You know, so yeah. No, I would use the same thing. Warner Brown looked very hungry like a vulture. he had the look of a Darren Buttocks. Yeah. Yeah, man. Him look hungry for real, man. Like Warner Brown. Me, as I say, at the real deal, I don't think I want to call him the real deal. What I mean by that is that he is going to go far. I see this player playing in Europe in very short order, to be honest with you. If he has the way the trajectory is going on, if he has a good tournament in the Gold Cup, if he has a good tournament, let's say he scored 3 goals, which he's perfectly capable of, by the way. Let's say he scores 3 goals. I think that a lot of clubs will be looking at him. You know, and these days our local players, we don't want to go to the US. Players don't want to go to the MLS anymore. They're not eager. They're not big on going to the MLS anymore. A lot of players would rather go to a lower tier European league than to go to the MLS. That's what I'm seeing from players right now. But that is what I mean when I say Warner Brown is the real deal. Ceiling is high, and I think he's on his way to Europe. Yeah, he was hungry last night. Yeah, you say we haven't had that up front for a long time. No. I mean, not at all. That like this guy looks like, yo, it's like he must sniff out the ball. It's like, yo, any little loose ball will come out. Like, you see the goal when could have all the score from the back pass where the Guatemala defender they make to the keeper and him pounce on it. You see me? Him pounce on it immediately and him try and put it to the side, but the keeper save it. I must say, yo, if that goal that they ever score is a man, stadium lift up because like the guy just he wants it badly. He want football success badly. You can see it. Him not for say nothing. I don't say that the way him play. You can tell how badly He wants it. So I wouldn't change the team, and I hope the coach doesn't, because what he did against Guatemala last night was the core of the um the Unity Cup team, minus um you know minus Richard King. He started. I mean, Damian Lowe came in for Richard King because Richard King seemed to have had an injury. But Damian Lowe did well though. Did well. I know a lot of people have a problem with him, but like, you see me, he did well, and then Mason Holgate subsequently had an injury, and Richard King had to come in, and he came in and did Richard King things, which is what we want to say. So I watched an interview with him on JFF Live, and it told me a lot about his mentality. And watching him, how he plays, it shows. He said he aims to score at least a goal in each and every training session. Wow, that's good. Because I mean, the truth of the matter is that is if you keep putting the ball in at the back of the net, that keep you on farm. You keep, you keep that feeling of scoring going all the while. So yeah, Warner Brown and the real deal, man. I think that you they're gonna go far. I think I definitely see in Europe pretty soon. I can't put a timeline on it because I would love to say 2 years from now. But the truth of the matter, at the rate he's going, he might very well get there faster than that, because he wants to score so badly. He wants to score so badly, and he has the confidence. Like, you can see that he's not playing like, oh, I'm just a lowly JPL player, so if I make a bad pass, that shouldn't be nothing. No, he's playing with the type of confidence of, I deserve to be on this field. I earned the right to be on this field, so I'm going to play like that. And I'm only 22. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like that too. Like that. And then John Russell, John Russell, he had a really good game yesterday too. I mean, he is on form. He's bringing his club farm over from Barnsley into the national team. He's scoring regularly now. So we're good. And McClaren said that. McClaren said that we haven't had a midfielder like John Russell who can score in a long while. You know what I mean? So it kind of takes the pressure off the forwards, if you think about it, when you have a midfielder that can put away chances, because now you have another goal threat, So, good. And kudos to Steve McClaren. You know what I mean? People criticize him heavily, but the guy has done a good job with Jamaica. I mean, I didn't think that when we lost Hallgrimson, it was going to be easy for McClaren to come in and even get up back to Hallgrimson's level. But I mean, McClaren, dare I say, might have very well surpassed Hallgrimson's level, because the team just looks better. The team just look better. Like under what do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you think of Steve McClaren's performance as coach of Jamaica thus far? If you were to rate him on a scale of 1 to 10, you know what I mean? Would I give him a 7.5 to 8? I think he is doing a good job. I think that the way how he's pacing the development of Jamaica, the team, is good. The pacing of it. You know what I mean? He wants more consistency, and people believe that the BVI performance was showing a lack of consistency, but we got back on track in last night. And now we want to see if in the Gold Cup, what will happen there, if we're going to maintain that consistency. Russell cemented his place in the starting 11 last night. Casey Palmer has to bench now, which is fine by me. So you never really like you never really like Casey Palmer as a you never really like Casey Palmer as a midfielder. I don't mind Casey Palmer enough, to be honest with you, but Russell is playing better though. Russell is giving more, so I can't say, I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that. Yeah, Russell is playing better, so I can't disagree with that. Yeah, The good news is that when Palmer do come on, he will be a great substitute. He will be great, you know. And then you say, I'd give him a 7. He seems to be doing a good job on recruitment based on what I'm hearing. Yeah, I mean, people people keep saying he's, doing a good job on recruitment. And you can see that with the likes of Roman Burrell. He's a good recruit. And I think, like, now that Warner Brown has kind of cemented his place as the starting striker, I mean, he has to be the starting striker. If he's not having a good game, I think Burrell would be a good replacement for him. So that's a good recruit. And Tyrese Campbell too, he was playing great football in his so we have some good teams now. When I hear about good recruitment though, I want to know, when is it that we're going to see Mason Greenwood? That's what I want to know. Because all we hear is that, yes, he has done he has done the paperwork now. He has made the switch now. And it's what I mean, we have heard, we hear all of that, but we don't know when he's actually coming to play for Jamaica. When is Mason Greenwood actually going to be here? So that's why when people say, when they read all these stories about, on the Observer, not just the Observer, but like any newspaper online, where they say, oh, Mason Greenwood doesn't know switch his allegiance to Jamaica, and he's not ready to play for Jamaica, and blah blah blah. I want to see him name the squad. You see me? I'm tired of those stories now. Like, and I know that McClaren is playing a crucial role in getting him here, but I just want to know when. When is that going to be? Because I thought that if he's going to come, now would be the time. And I'm assuming if he's going to really come, he's going to be here for the third round of the World Cup qualifiers. I mean, he has to be, because that's the last thing that we do before we qualify for the World Cup. And I mean, what a good addition to the team he would be, because me never even did know. Mr. Greenwood is joint top scorer with Ousmane Dembele for League 1. And I know a lot of people say, sure, League 1 is not another league. League 1 a league, because PSG win Champions League. You get me? So more often know when Mason Greenwood is coming. So if Sanjay Brooks, I don't know if you're talking about, when you say you hear he's doing a good job on recruitment, does that recruitment include Mason Greenwood? Come hear him talk about Mason Greenwood. But what's the status on that? When am I gonna come? You know what I mean? Someone don't know about that, But you say you'll give him a 7. I can agree. I'll give him a 7. He's not doing badly at all. I mean, I would definitely rate Steve McClaren a solid 7 out of 10. And if he can win this World Cup, I mean, him gone up to 9 in my book. Him gone up to 9 easily. If he can win this World Cup and then qualify for World Cup at 10, win the World Cup and qualify us for the World Cup, me give him a 10. This over there. Palmer is okay, but he can't be starting for it. Yeah, Palmer. I mean, John Russell is playing better, but again, Palmer needs to. Yeah. So, oh, maybe I know you can do this. Okay. Yeah. So, let me do this. Right. So I just to go back to the World Cup, Jamaica must be dominant and beat all teams ranked below them, but can't have teams beating us that is that rank below. We have to maintain a standard. Then I would like to see at least a semi-final run from Jamaica. You know what I mean? I personally would love to see at least a semi-final run. Again, if we top our group, we actually if we top our group, we stand up. That's the best chance that we stand of going through to the semi-final, topping our group. Urquhart Ben, bless up yourself. Thanks for being here, man. Are there any new recruits with passport already? That's what I've been asking. I don't know if Sanjay Brooks can provide us with some updates on that, but I don't know of any new recruits that I hear rumors that there are some new people coming, but apparently nobody wants to say who those people are. And it could be because oftentimes when you say stuff and then not happen, you have to end up eating your words. But I don't know of any new recruits. Malik Madazil, um Tyrese Campbell and Burrell is Romar Burrell are the only new recruits I know about. But I hear that there are some in the works. I don't know if that include Mason Greenwood, because he's the player that I want to see here. Of all the recruits that are coming, Mason Greenwood is the number one that I would like to see, because if we have him, then scoring we don't even have to worry about scoring goals anymore, especially with Warner Brown coming. The only thing is, if Mason Green would come, somebody would have lose them game. Probably Cephas would have lose him game, because we know saying the coach now go bench Bailey, is me, and Demar Gray, he's playing the number 10 role so good. I mean, he can alternate that with Bobby Reid. But the good news is that would have a very deep squad. Would have a very, very deep squad. Say all rumors so far, there seems to be a hush-hush approach now, which is okay. I hear Greenwood is all done now. Also Baker. Okay. I even want to come in a man. I even want to come a Greenwood more wants to reach. You see me? Because me know say once him reach, the goal threat are gonna be like we are gonna move from I'm not gonna say 0 to 100, but you get the point. We're gonna move from 50% to 90% real quick if the man they come. You see me? Okay. All right. Erkat Ben say Warner Brown could lose this game. Based on level, yes. You know what I mean? You could say that. You could say you could say Warner Brown could lose this game, but what if he performs? What if Warner Brown continues to perform in the way that he has? You know what I mean? When last week, whatever player was Demar Gray, the last player, whoever scored 2 goals in a game. That's not very common. I know Boza did do it last year, but or the time when they play Canada. But yeah, it's the squad is stacked. Only Mason and Matters can add to the squad. Yeah, I mean, like the squad stacked for real, man. Like, but you have other people. Warner Brown Modo, I'm not so sure I'm gonna lose him game, because he has been playing well, and if he continues to play like how he's playing, I don't see him losing him game unless him fall off. You know what I mean? But as hungry as he is, them man they play hungrier than Kaim Dixon, and you don't know that Kaim Dixon hungry already. But Warner Brown look hungrier than him. You know what I mean? Sanjay Brooks say, I hear we might be getting Ben Johnson or Max Aaron's next window. Hear rumors of Rico Henry. Yeah, I kind of hear some of them rumors there too. The reason why I'm gonna really gotta go crazy over any of those players is because the reason why I'm not go crazy over those players is because I think where we really need it is up front and in midfield. I don't know if them play. I don't really know much about them playing. Sanjay, maybe you can tell me a little bit more about those players. But yeah, I want to see Greenwood more. I want to know when Greenwood will reach. Urquhart Ben said, remember Cephas has an X factor. Greenwood would strike. So you believe that the coach would put Greenwood up top and take out Warner Brown and put in Cephas, keep Cephas? Maybe. I mean, but from what I see when he play for Marseille, which is Mason Greenwood, he play wing. A wing in play for Marseille. Warner Brown is an out and out striker, and what do you think? You think if, let's say, Warner Brown played this Gold Cup, he's the starting goalkeeper, starting striker. Okay. Warner Brown will take out himself if Greenwood no star. You know what? If me a Warner Brown, I not take out myself with nobody. He must come earn that. You see me? And I take out myself. You know what? You see me? Greenwood play anywhere in the front line. Well, all right, fine. I will take that. But here's my question to you: what if Warner Brown plays Gold Cup, right? And he plays really, really well. Let's say him score 4 goals in a Gold Cup, 3 or 4 goals. Anywhere between 3 and 4 goals, because I'm perfectly capable of this. Score 3 or 4 goal in the Gold Cup, and we get Mason Greenwood score 3 or 4 goals in the Gold Cup. Jamaica make a deep run at least to the semi-final, if not the final. You know what I mean? Because me believe say Warner Brown is an X factor too, just like Cephas. I do believe it. No, Cephas have a longer track record than Warner Brown, so it's easier to keep Cephas. But Warner Brown has this Gold Cup coming up. He performs well this Gold Cup. He scored 3 or 4 goals. Jamaica makes a deep run to the semifinals, if not the finals. And Warner Brown's goals are the goals that got them there. Are you saying when this World Cup come around, the World Cup champion come around again, in September, you would take out Warner Brown if we get Mason Greenwood and keep Cephas? Because this is kind of what me see happening, I actually believe that Warner Brown will have an outstanding Gold Cup and score a whole heap of goals. I am assuming that Mason Greenwood will come in. If he's coming, he'll come in the final round of the World Cup qualifiers. I think that's what will happen because there's no other opportunity for him to come in. But if that happens, do you take out Warner Brown and put in Mason Greenwood? I would still start Mason Greenwood. So as you say, Sanjay Brooks, truth is Greenwood would definitely start. No real way to say who would lose their game. It's a good problem to have. Right, good. It's a good problem to have. But if Warner Brown keep producing, how do you take out Warner Brown and put in Mason Greenwood? I'm not saying Mason Greenwood shouldn't play, but how do you take him out, bro? You got to understand some players are different gravy. Nobody in CONCACAF see for space. Look, you talk to a Cephas fan, You see me? I rate Cephas, nobody no rate Cephas like me. You see me? So, but get that about Cephas. You see me? But I'm asking if Warner Brown continues scoring at the rate he's scoring. Warner Brown, how much he might have 3 goals in how much game? 3 goals in a 4 games or 3 goals in 3? Let me see how much Warner Brown has. Because Warner. I want to look this up. He have 3 goals in 5 games. A 5 game in play. A 5 game in play with Jamaica? Oh yeah, because the Unity Cup game when they come and come get a little 2-minute run. That me even count that. But anyway, Warner Brown have 3 goals in 5 games. If he continues on that trajectory, I don't know if the value say if Warner score 100 Greenwood. You see, that me now say Greenwood should start. Obviously, if Greenwood come, may I find a place on the field for him. You see me? I'm finding a space on the field for him. Greenwood comes to Jamaica, he has to play. There's no doubt. That's not in question. The question is whose game would he take? And you say that would have been Warner Brown, and me say For me, if the only way it would be Warner Brown for me is if Warner Brown fall off from scoring from the way he's been scoring. So you say him have a 4 goal. Okay, so him have 4 goals in 4 games. Yeah. So I'm not even count the Unity Cup game when him come out for 2 minutes. I'm not count that. So one versus one versus Vincent, one versus BVI, and 2 versus Guatemala. Right. So 4 goals in 4 games. Then so him pretty much have a goal a game right now. So my thing is, if at the end of the Gold Cup, him still have that you see me, him still have that stat there, a goal a game, especially if Jamaica make a deep run and his goals were the main contributors, are some of the main contributors to us getting there, there's no way him not start for me. Mason Greenwood would play, don't get me wrong, you see me, but if I for play, once Mason Greenwood come, him a play. Don't get that twisted. But me not so sure is 100% some would take off Warner Brown for him. You see me? Me not 100% sure about that. You see me? And Cephas is slowly making the left wing his own. Yeah, me know. Cephas take them are regret spot. Even them are regret they say that. Him say, boy, when him come back, the coach have to put him in the 10, number 10 position because Cephas taking position. I get that, right? But if Mason Greenwood come, I'm not so sure unless, as I say, Warner Brown fall off, then you know what I mean, I'm not so sure. But it's good. There's competition. There is going to be a stiff competition for places in this team. That is what we know. Sanjay Brooks said Bailey seems to have changed since the Unity Cup. He has now produced to earn a starting spot. He assisted yesterday. They just need to take him off the penalty for real. I don't know how him step up. I don't know how him step up to take the penalty when would I give Richard King the penalty over him? Wait. Oh yeah, so I agree with this. Yeah, Bailey have to step up in the game for do that. Miller, thanks for being here. Brown won't start in the Gold Cup after the second game. Seriously? So you believe, say, him have a fall off that badly in the Gold Cup after the second game that he won't start? No, man. Unless the coach, if if Warner Brown continues to play like he's playing, unless the coach wants to rest him and give another player a chance, him have to be the starting striker for me. Him have to be the starting striker for me. Unless the coach say, yo, I want to rest some players and give. Karuman Burrell is good too, you know. I mean, the man they kind of deserve a little time too. So me gear that. If the coach want for rest Warner Brown and bring on Burrell, fine. But as of now, the man to me earn the right for start. You know. Yeah, 4 goal in 3 starts. Yeah, Warner Brown I crush it. 4 goal in 4 game, yeah. You see me? Chorus, thanks for being here, man. He said Brown is a number 9, not a winger. Right. No, me never did say for play him as a winger. He's a striker. No, because Urquhart was saying that he would bring in, if Mason Green would come, Brown would have lose him game and Mason Green would start up front. You see me? But I am saying that Mason Greenwood is more a winger than a striker. Yes, I know him can play the striker role, but he's more a winger. Right? So more I think if nobody ever lose them game, that would be Cephas. But that is a tough call too, because Cephas has been playing well. You know what I mean? Cephas has been playing really well. You know, so you know. That would be yeah. I say, of course, you're right. It would have been between Cephas and Bailey. It would have been between Cephas and Bailey. Would have lose them game. Not something there. Not Warner Brown. Warner Brown continue. If Warner Brown continue for play like Oima play, Is it when me can't see you? Oh, you gotta take him off. You can take him off and give Roman Barella run or Mikel Antonio for give him back, But like, nah man. Right now the Monday start for me, man. I wanna Brown start for me. I think Bailey is under threat the most when Greenwood arrives. Greenwood always operates off the right side. Yeah, exactly. 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 That is exactly what I was thinking. A really right wing in play. So Cephas, the only reason why I must say Cephas is because I know that the coach rate Liam Bailey. So it might be less likely for bench Bailey than Cephas. But I know that the coach also likes Cephas too. We all like Cephas. We all like how Cephas play. Everybody likes Cephas now, but Liam Bailey had a golden boy. If Mason Green would come, the Mara Green look like him done kind of a transition in a number 10 role. So for him, game might be safe. And the only person who him have challenging him for the number 10 role, a Bobby Reid. So I think Demar Green might be a better number 10 than Bobby Reid, even though Bobby Reid is a good number 10 too. But you see me? Like me believes at the wing of them would have been in trouble if you lose them game. But I mean you can also switch it up too, I mean, you can always switch it up, but I don't know if I would play Mason Greenwood as an out and out striker. I wouldn't do that, especially when you have Tyrese Campbell, Roman Barrell, and Warner Brown there. I mean, me would see the need to do that, and then even Mikel Antonio. I don't know if well, we'll see. I don't know if Mikel Antonio will eventually make it to the next round of the World Cup qualifiers. If Mason Greenwood, if all of them people there, that are being recruited, Mason Greenwood, Max Aarons, Lewis Baker, and all of them play there, I don't know. It's gonna be tough. Yeah, he could put Bailey off the left and play Greenwood off the right. At that I think he would have do. That's exactly what I think he would do. He would play Mason Greenwood on the right and put Bailey on the left because Bailey play left wing too. But I don't think that would affect. I don't think that would affect any other striking role. I don't think it would be. I think he would that are the what he would do. Urquhart Ben said Mikel Antonio can make the side. I think that you try to say can make the side if Green would come. Yeah, I mean, right. And then even them other recruits too. I think Mikel Antonio will struggle to stay in this squad. I think he will struggle. After the Gold Cup, I think he's going to struggle to stay in the squad because he's just coming back. He's going to need to find a club and play games and be up in form and all of that. And he's older too. So he's gonna struggle for remaining in the squad. And people already are cussing and say, oh, the coach bring Mikel Antonio and don't bring Boza. Because Boza, while he might not have had a good season, he had a club and was playing. So if anything, he deserves to be more in the club than our on the side than Mikel Antonio. That's what people are saying. I'm not saying that. But that's what people are saying. Lee, thank you for being here. Big up yourself. It's a very good thing to have that. Yes, it is. It is. I think with all of those players coming, and even the team that we have now, I mean, with Warner Brown performing so well and putting Tyrese Campbell and Roman Barrell on the bench, it's because of how well he's performing while those players have to sit on the bench. And those players are good players. Tyrese Campbell and Roman Barrell had a good League One season. But because of how well Warner Brown is performing, they have to sit on the bench. You get me? So with how well that creates depth. You will have depth in the wing, the wide areas between, because I know we have Dixon, even though people, what am I to say about Dixon, but like, you have Bailey now, you have Bailey and Cephas that's playing the wing, but Demar Gray can play the wing. And Bobby Reid can come play the 10. You have John Russell now. You have Eden. Even Casey Palmer is not playing as well as John Russell, but he's not playing badly either. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of depth even in the even at the back. Ethan Pinnock is coming back in. You also will have Damian Lowe, Richard King, and Mason Holgate. So we're too deep in that position. And if needs be, we can have what's his name, Joel Latimer there play that as well. And in the wing backs, we still have Lembikisa. Lembikisa kind of play himself out of that role. I know the coach is putting Latimer there, but he can always come back and do a job. And then on the left wing, we have Amari Bell and Greg Lee. And Greg Lee is more of an attacking player than Amari Bell. Amari Bell is kind of more defensive. But anyway, see, takes only coming because Tyrese looks so hungry and Burley is a fighter. Yeah, right. I mean, these guys, if you have these guys on your bench, is like, oh my God, that's it's a good problem to have. Yeah, Antonio is 35. Coming back is going to be tough for him. So, and these kids are young and hungry. And if many of these young guys knew that Jamaica camp was so nice, and the squad's a deal, many would come a long time ago. Yeah, for real. Even though you have some man that said the camp the nice again still, but when I go this, that does kind of stir up trouble. But yeah, we like that the recruitment by Steve McClaren, he's recruiting young players that have a future. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, we could get any the English-based players that we could get are players that were on the cusp of retirement and stood no chance of being called for England. Those were the only players we could get. But now we're getting young players who want to come into Jamaica. Tyrese and Roman Burrell, young players. That's what we want, And sooner or later, Jamaica is going to be able to challenge England for the best young talent coming out of England. And dare I say, if we qualify for this World Cup, trust me. Let me tell you, two things need to happen. And trust me, we will have the floodgates open for Jamaica. Mason Greenwood coming to Jamaica, and Jamaica qualifying for the World Cup. And then if we can win a Gold Cup, sky's the limit, man. Sky's the limit. Every English player said the vibes even better than England camp. Well, yeah, of course, it's gonna be better than England camp. But Jamaica paradise, if you really think about it, just say people don't really have the money like that. Because trust me, most Jamaicans wouldn't even live abroad if them could have lived the lifestyle when them live in foreign countries. If I could take that lifestyle and bring it back and live that lifestyle in Jamaica, you wouldn't have no reason to live abroad. Yeah, if you could have the same money in your pocket in a Jamaica like you could have in a foreign, you wouldn't have no problem to leave Jamaica. So anyway, yeah, the vibes are gonna be nicer in Jamaica for real because Jamaica is paradise. You see me? We only need 2 more good midfielders. So what is the verdict on Ravel? Everybody there crying and clamor for Ravel. I know that he's here. And I know they might get trouble, or some people hear rumors are come out like that, or what. But anyway, yeah, I agree with Bent with Urquhart. Who you have in mind as people that can come in? After the stadium fix and we go World Cup, we win World Cup, Jamaica will rival England. Yeah, man. Straight up. We need to win Gold Cup and qualify for the World Cup. And Mason Greenwood forward, the floodgates are open. We're gonna definitely be able to challenge the thing. So yeah, if you're in here, just hit up the like button. Thank you for being here. It's good that you could spend the evening talking football today after such a brilliant win by Jamaica last evening. It leaves Jamaican fans in high spirit. But Jamaica need to go to the next level. Here's another thing I want to talk about. We also need to go to the next level and beat teams ranked above us, like Panama, USA and Canada. Canada should be on our radar. You know what I mean? Like, these are teams that we have consistently performed well enough to be ranked number 6 in CONCACAF, right? But at what point are we going to consistently challenge the teams ranked above us? You know what I mean? Like Panama, for example. Panama, they are capable of beating the teams above them. You know what I mean? You saw what they did in the Nations League against the United States, and that is with the US strongest team, with the likes of Pulisic and Tim Weah and Balogun and all of them top players. Panama was still able to beat the USA. I don't think that Jamaica is far removed from the quality of Panama. You know what I mean? We're up there too. So at what point is it that we're going to be able to challenge the likes of Panama, or challenge the likes of Canada, or challenge the likes of the United States, so that when we get into a CONCACAF Gold Cup semi-final and we hear say we play Canada or Mexico, we can embrace the challenge, because that's where our level is. I want to have you say, yo, John All-Star, yo, me never the one book. Them no, we know. Because that's how I feel sometimes when we get to that stage. When we book USA and Mexico, it's like, Jano, you know, how I go win this? You see me? I don't think that I think. So we want to get past that. You know, I want to get past us worrying about if we're going to get to beat USA and Mexico. At what point are we going to reach at this level and stay at that level? That's what we need to do. Then say the pace left Ravel, but he can do a job experience. Yeah, as I experienced ball. He can angle the ball, but the game kind of different now, for real. The game, I think what McClaren is trying to do, Ravel might struggle to fit into it, to be honest. What McClaren is trying to do, he's trying to move the ball faster and stay more alert. And honestly, when I say Ravel come on the pitch, it look like he might try slow down the tempo of the game. And I'm not sure that is what McClaren wants to do. So we don't know. Sanjay Brooks say, we have consistently beat teams like Panama and Canada in the World Cup. Still, yeah, but that was back in the day. This Canadian team is different. With Jesse Marsh at the helm, with what's his name? The striker, Jonathan David, with Alphonso Davis, with Kyle Buchanan, with Kyle Lauren. They are beatable, yes, just like we did. We beat them in Canada. They're definitely beatable, but they're not easy to beat in Canada. Panama is definitely beatable, and so I believe that I believe that that it is important that Jamaica beats Panama in this World Cup. We have to beat them. So we'll see. USA and Mexico are who we have had trouble with. Yeah. I guess in the Gold Cup, if we really think about it, have we ever lost to Canada in the Gold Cup? Probably not. Or the Panama. Yeah, you might be right. But I just think the teams are different now. USA has a weakened team now. It's not the Pulisic not there, Tim Weah not there. Who else? Balogun is not going to be there. Josh Sargent is not going to be there. A bunch of players not going to be there. So USA is weakened. I think Mexico has the strongest team, and Jamaica, we just have to go up against them and go toe-to-toe with them like we did against Nigeria. Nigeria was a strong team. We went toe-to-toe with them, so you don't see why we can't do it this time around. So just reading some more comments. If he didn't get injured, then what? Louis Baker? Yeah, that's a good question, because we don't really have a solid replacement for Isaac Hayden right now. I think if Hayden gets injured, he's gonna play what's his name? Latibodir. He's gonna let Latibodir play the CDM role. That's what I think. If Isaac Hayden gets injured, it's gonna be Latibodir. There. He could even push up what's his name? Richard King. I would trust Richard King more as a CDM than Damian Lowe. Damian Lowe can stay in defense. I would trust Richard King more in that role. Ravel now gonna World Cup. Yeah, I'm not gonna go World Cup for real. Too much prospects on the horizon for him for that. I think we're still conceding too many goals. We're conceding too many goals. Lee. I'm trying to see. When was the last? Which game are you referring to? Which game are you referring to? That we concede a lot of goals in. You mean in the Gold Cup or just in general? Clarify that for me, Lee. We lost to Canada in the 2009 Gold Cup. Yeah, but that probably has some, maybe a long time that though. You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess we'll probably lose to them time, but typically we beat them side though in the Gold Cup. But this Canadian team is different though, especially with Jesse Marsh. Jesse Marsh is hungry. You have to understand Jesse Marsh, you know. Jesse Marsh is upset that the US didn't choose him to coach the US national team. That definitely bothers him. He's upset that the US, because he interviewed for the US national team job and they gave it to Pochettino, right? And Pochettino is not doing too well with the US right now. So Jesse Marsh is a little bit upset over that because he felt like, look, I have the pedigree. I coached in the English Premier League and I am an American. So who better to choose than me? You know, and they said, no, we're not choosing you. We're going for Pochettino. We're going for a name coach. Pochettino is not doing so. So Jesse Marsh interviewed for the Canadian job and got it, and he's doing well. He made a deep run in the Copa America to the semifinal. You know what I mean? The Canadian team look better than ever. They look better than how they looked under Herdman. You know, a lot of their players are playing better. So, you know, Jesse Marsh has a chip on his shoulder, so to speak. You know, he is coming to win this Gold Cup because he wants to win the Gold Cup and dangle it in the face of the US and say, see, you should have chose me. He has a point to prove. So I think that's the reason why, you know, I think Canada is a little bit more dangerous now. You know, Ravel won't see back the side when Green will come, and the coach also gonna free up space on midfield, especially. Yeah, Ravel kind of, we not see him coming back. I think this is his last rodeo for Jamaica. Honestly, I think this will be his last rodeo for Jamaica. No, he won't use Latibody here. He's Waken and Baker or the guy from Ajax to play the position. Yes, maybe. No, I'm saying in the interim while he's waiting on those guys. Because let's say we go to, God forbid, but let's say we go to Gold Cup now and Isaac Hayden get injured. Who are you going to put in the CDM? Who are you going to put in his role? It's going to be Latibody here. You know? So for now, it's going to be him. You know, maybe Casey Palmer, because Casey Palmer plays a little bit, plays defensively too. So I think Casey Palmer could do the job as well. But I believe that for now, it's probably likely going to be Latibody if Isaac Hayden is not able to play that position. Baker is attacking. He isn't a 6. Yeah. I think he was talking in probably refer to the other guy. Let me see. What did he say earlier? Aaron's? No, Lewis Baker. Lewis Baker, I'm talking about. Probably. Or Max Aaron. Max Aaron's I'm talking about. Yeah. Is it me? All right. If Jamaica play to potential and all the players are available, they should dominate CONCACAF. Should. We have a lack of 6s in our pool. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, if we get those players, you know, we can have depth in the position. We have depth in the striker role. We'll have depth in the wing role because we with Mason Greenwood coming, we have a bunch of wingers now. You know, we might have too many wingers. The midfield, We have players who can play the midfield role now, but we might need a little bit more specialist midfielders. So we have now Demara Gray is playing midfield. Bobby Reid is in the team as a midfielder. I don't think he'll be playing the wing, even though he can play the wing. Casey Palmer is there as a midfielder, and Jonathan Russell is there as a midfielder. You know what I mean? So there's depth in the team now in terms of midfielders. We might want to bring in more specialist midfielders, but in terms of the defensive midfield role, and Ravel is there as a midfielder now too. Even though I think this is his last hurrah, but in terms of a CDM, Isaac Hayden is the only specialist CDM there. I think if he is banged up and needs to rest or is injured, God forbid, then you'll say, what's his name coming? Either Latibody will come in that position, and so that Lembikisa will play the right back. But people are not liking Lembikisa in that role right now. And then you might also see Casey Palmer play that role. Casey Palmer could also play the CDM role too. I think he is decent in the role. Maybe not a specialist, but is decent in the role. So Ben say we should definitely incorporate Genario Johnson in the side and let him learn from Hayden because he's a genuine 6. Who is Genario Johnson? Or Gennaro Johnson? Let's see. If we look up that player. Gennaro Johnson. He's a Dutch. He's a Dutch professional footballer for young Ajax. Johnson was born in the Netherlands to a Jamaican mother and a Nigerian father. Okay. So that is somebody we never really know about, but interesting. Midfielder from Ajax. But it seemed like he's okay. So he's the U18 captain. Oh, he was in the 60-man pool. Okay, we never did see that. We never even read through that pool too tough. Yeah, I forgot to look back on that. I heard we might have more strikers going to Jamaica to sort out their papers there, as it's way quicker. It's the off season, so they have time to do so now. September Rasta might look way different. Yeah, and for those other people who need your Jamaican passport renewed, or you need to get a Jamaican passport, it way faster if you go there. I'm gonna talk from experience, because me hear a certain youth, me hear somebody, they say like them apply to Jamaica for them passport, and I'll know them not get it for months upon months. I'll know them not get it. Regin, me now call your name because I don't know if you're comfortable with me calling that out, even though you say it over the internet. But you see me, right now, it's easier if you just go Jamaica and do it while you're there than try to do it over. Because trust me, they try do it that way they too, through mail, and then put me through so much before I can get my passport. It's like, I don't know why it have to be. It's so difficult, but it's faster if you just go there though. You just go to Jamaica, spend 1 day, and go up there, you can get it in a day. You know, it don't take long, actually. Lati will replace Lembe because he can invert and understand space more. Yeah, and yeah, I know. The coach and even the fans, them don't look like they are very they are very satisfied with Lembe Kisa in a right back role. You know, so I think in the game when they play, which game was that or they play? The Unity Cup, the Nigeria game, they look like them they are targeting away. So yeah. So Gennaro Johnson is the under 18 captain. Well, I forgot do my research on him. Bless up yourself, Leo. He was in the 60-man pool. Also, there is Tyrese Hall and Louis Baker. Those players can come into the squad as well as midfielders. We will have depth, by the time that's why I say, like with McClaren, I know he gets a lot of criticism, but McClaren has done a good job, and dare I say, has done a better job than Hal Grimson. You know, a lot of the things that we praise Hal Grimson was for that he was disciplined and you know, I mean, defensively disciplined, and he wanted a certain type of professionalism in the camps and all of that. And I think Hallgrim, and I think you know, what's his name, McClaren has done that without going about it in the way that Hallgrimson has. There is defensive discipline in the team too. You know what I mean? There is defensive discipline, but there's attacking discipline too. There's more organization in the team, and you see more depth in the squad. You know, you see more depth in every aspect, because we have been crying out about the midfield, you know. But if you really check how many midfielders we have now, you have Ravel Morrison, you have Casey Palmer. Even though Ravel Morrison is not one for the future, but I'm talking right now. I don't think Ravel will be going to the Gold Cup either. So let's take him out of it. But we have Casey Palmer, we have John Russell, we have Bobby Reid, we have Casey Palmer, John Russell, Bobby Reid. We have Isaac Hayden. You get me? You have Latibo there that can play in the middle. So there is depth there too. It might not be the type of midfielders that we want, because Jamaicans love the flair midfielder, the Ravel. That's why they are called for Ravel Morrison. But we have midfielders. There's depth in every aspect of the. We have a lot of strikers, enough wingers, enough midfielders. The wing back position is not sorted out yet. A lot of people believe that Latibo there is a natural wing back, because that's where he started his career. So that's where he naturally belongs. You know, and then on the right, the left hand side of the wingers, we have Amara Bell and Greg Lee. So, and those are two good wingers. A lot of people have stuff to say about Greg Lee, but I don't. I think Greg Lee is a good one too. So there is depth. And McClaren has done a good job. McClaren has done a good job. I don't keep that's just my opinion. He has done a good job with the team. Has settled the team very well. Has balanced out the team very well in having depth in each position. The rotation of the squad, some people might not have liked the way he rotated the squad between the BVI game and Guatemala. But the team looks much more an attacking team. You can see what he wants to do. And he just looks like the team just looks more capable of winning than we used to in the past. That's where I will leave it when it comes down to McClaren. You know, that's where I will leave it when it comes down to McClaren. He has done a good job. That's what Hayden did. He came to Jamaica to do it. Right. Come to Jamaica, get your passport done. You do it faster that way. Because if you try to do it through email and you take your picture, they're going to send back your picture and say, this is not the right picture, because it never, you know what I mean? Like, just go there and do everything in one day. You can get it done. You know? On ready for the real thing. Deco 2K, bless up yourself. Thanks for being here. What you mean by when you said ready for the real thing? You know? Urquhart Ben say, all who doing papers, it's too late. To make this squad from here on, you have to be playing high-level football. Rico Henry has his papers, he might replace Lee. Yeah, it kind of late now, because trust me, with this, you know, with where Jamaica is right now, you know, we stand a very good chance of qualifying for the World Cup, you know, because every single team that will be put in our group is going to be ranked beneath us. It's going to be ranked below us. So if we could get a group with Jamaica, El Salvador, Bermuda, and Trinidad, that would have sweet. Come knows we're supposed to be able to beat them side. We qualify for World Cup. So anyway, in general, all right, they got 2K say final round, the real World Cup equalization, our qualification starting now. No Jamaica, but you know, no little weak team in a final round. So all these ballers we talk about, I know we're gonna save them. Yeah, but yeah, man, you have some weaker teams. El Salvador barely scraped you, you know. Did you watch Deco? Did you watch Suriname versus El Salvador last night. Suriname completely dominated them, even though the game ended 1-1. Suriname dominated them. Suriname completely dominated them, and they pretty much was lucky for walk away with a 1-1 draw. They at one point it was looking like they weren't gonna make it. You know what I mean? So El Salvador is not that strong. Bermuda, I don't know what them do for reach to the stage with them there, but they're not a strong team either. And Trinidad is a good team, but we have history with Trinidad. We beat them a lot. So that is why I'm gonna say them three team there between Bermuda, Bermuda, El Salvador, and Trinidad. If we were supposed to get them three team there in our group, I think we would definitely. It should be a done deal to qualify for the World Cup. But there are other teams that we can beat too. There are other teams in there where we can beat them. So listen, McClaren job start now in the final round. This is the real work start for McClaren. Well, yeah. I mean, this is the World Cup round. This is the World Cup round now, the qualification round. So yeah, everybody that's why I say if Mason Greenwood is coming, it has to be now. If Mason Greenwood are coming, it must be now. Because why you gonna tell me say I'm gonna wait till we qualify and then come play? It have to be now. It have to be now. We are assessed team, seized team, and we won't face Panama. Yeah, seeded team. We're a seeded team. We won't face Panama or Costa Rica. Jamaica has far better players. Yeah, of course. There's no team because we're a seeded team, every team that will be in our group will be ranked below us. So, I mean, if we can't qualify from this, we better pack it up at this point. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, Suriname a good side. If Jamaica can't beat Honduras and Bermuda, El Salvador, then we don't deserve to go World Cup. Straight. I mean, we have beaten those teams before, so, what's worst case scenario for who can... What's the worst case scenario for who we can get in our group? For me, it's Honduras, Curacao, and Suriname. Yeah, that look like about right. Would I even say Curacao? Would I say Honduras, Suriname, and Haiti? Because for some reason, anytime we play Haiti, we you know what I mean? Like, everybody else can beat them, but Haiti, for some reason, just kind of throw away off our game. You know what I mean? So it would have been Honduras, Haiti, and Suriname. For me, that would have been a nightmare for us. That would have because every game would have been hard. Every game would have been iffy if we get them side there. That would have been a nightmare. Brother, final round, everybody step up them thing. Yeah, I get that, but I still believe that Jamaica, like all right. If we get Bermuda, you really think that Bermuda gonna be able to step up that much to beat Jamaica? Like, me not think that. Me not think so. You know what I mean? Me not really think so. You see me? Yeah, the quality should prevail. Greenwood will be there for the September window. Okay. I mean, I keep hearing that Greenwood will be here, but I mean, I even want to come here, because here's how me feel. If Greenwood come play for Jamaica, well, almost a guarantee to qualify for the World Cup. Me, that's what me feel. If him come, because them Monday, anyway, we just want to see him reach. We don't want to talk about that until we see him reach. We want to hear him up on the side. You see me? So, may I see because we win groups, so CONCACAF better gone. Now, man, them can't do that, man, because first of all, we win our group, so that's one reason why we would have to be a seeded team. And secondly, we already ranked in the top 6 of CONCACAF. The only teams ranked above us that's in this round is Panama and Costa Rica. And they are seeded teams too, so we're not going to face them. So we don't have to worry about them. It doesn't matter who we get. Jamaica has far more quality, bro. Yeah, I agree. We should be able to beat Honduras. We should be able to beat Suriname. We have beaten them. We should be able to beat Haiti. I'm just saying that, you know, that would have just make it a little bit harder for us. Not an idea. You want a tough group, so you would have loved to say a Honduras, a Suriname, and a Haiti. You'd have loved to see that. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, remember we're going on at BVI. Well, yeah, that may I say, but BVI thing, the reason why BVI was tough was partially because of how bad the surface was, one, and two, because they just took themselves in a low block. You know, and a low block is hard to break down. If you remember, um, a few Gold Cups ago, few years ago, when Mexico played Trinidad in the Gold Cup. Mexico played Trinidad in the Gold Cup, and it was the opening game of the Gold Cup, and Trinidad sat in a low block for the entire game, and the game ended in a 0-0 draw. But I think Mexico ended up making a very deep run in that Gold Cup. But Trinidad sat down in a very deep low block. It ended up in a 0-0 draw, and that was a strategy by Angus Eve at the time. He knew he had no chance of beating, beating Mexico, but he felt like if he sat back long enough, then he could end up getting a point out of the Mexico game, and it worked. So I'm just saying that to say that the BVI game is kind of, you know what I mean? I'm not reading too deep into that because the feel was crappy, one, and two, they sat in a low block for the whole game. They weren't trying to beat Jamaica. So, you know, that's a different thing. We always struggle against lower ranked teams. We struggle against lower ranked team, but if we play with the type of tenacity and, you know what I mean, energy that we played Nigeria and Guatemala in, I don't think we should have a problem. We just need to keep that momentum. That's all we need to do. We don't want to play a World Cup and it's easy to make it. You think he will give up on it and September is the last chance? If you're not here, it's it. And I believe the coach already relayed that. Well, we'll see. I mean, as I say, like, me not get excited until I see him. I'm not getting excited until I see him come play for Jamaica. So, like, him need to come, Brechin, because, like, after this, like this is the final round, it wouldn't be fair for it wouldn't be fair for all of these. We there, well want him to come, him don't come, him wait until we qualify and then him forward. You see me? Like, I don't know. Even though he would add quality to the team, I don't know how fair that would be. You see me? But we'll see. Early B, bless up yourself and thanks for being here. Jamaica doesn't need Greenwood to qualify for the World Cup. We have an abundance of quality ballers in the squad now to get the job done. Greenwood can come play for us after World Cup. I mean, I agree with you still. I agree that we don't really need Mason Greenwood to qualify for the World Cup. We can qualify without Mason Greenwood. That's for sure. But I think if he comes, it will create, you know, it would give us a confidence boost. It would give us a major confidence boost. And you have to kind of think beyond that, you know. When we qualify for the World Cup, that will be by the end of this year. By the time January comes around, we're going to need to play teams to get ready for the World Cup. And Mason Greenwood being on the team would help us get quality opponents. I mean, you know, we'll still get quality opponents just because we qualify for the World Cup still. But like, definitely going into I would love to have him on our squad going into the World Cup, right? But only if he comes in this last round. Only if he comes before we qualify. Let's put it that way. I don't want him to come after we qualify and then no, you know, him just walk into the team and play the World Cup. Like, I wouldn't like that at all. I wouldn't want that. You know, don't come now, come struggle with the way. True, and really it's not going to be a struggle. It will be an easy World Cup for us to qualify for. But come help us qualify and then come play World Cup with us, as opposed to waiting until we qualify and then say, no, you're ready to play for Jamaica. I wouldn't like that at all. You know, It doesn't matter how good a team is. If a low block is employed, it's hard to break. We see it all the time. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not reading too much into the BVI 1-0 win, because they stayed in a low block and put on top of it, the field is not good either. So it's like, I'm not going to kill them for that. I'm not kill them for that. Suriname is no good. Only can beat low ranked teams. I'm not so sure about that in a Colin Quest. Big up yourself. But I really think, I want to take, I don't really think I want to take, what am I trying to say? I want to take Suriname too lightly. I really don't think I want to take Suriname too lightly. They are a formidable team. Maybe they're not ready to beat Jamaica yet, but you never know. I'm not gonna take them too light. So 1 second. Make sure say let's this out. All right. People. 40 people up on the live. Just hit up the like button for me there. Thank you for those who are here. We're going to spend the evening talking some football. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Because we want to grow the channel. So thank you for being here. Just going to read a few more comments as we wrap things up. Let's make this is a new Jamaica side. The man them serious. Yeah, man. Jamaica, I go. I'm looking forward to the World Cup. For the first time, I can say, for the first time since 2017, I think Jamaica can, or is it 2019? Maybe 2019. I think Jamaica could possibly make a run to the final of the World Cup. But that all depends on us taking this group seriously, beating Panama, topping that group. That is our easiest path to the final. So hold on, is only 3 spots available. I did 6, but 6 years them lock them spot there because them are owners and player spot from whatever. Yeah, so all it go is US, Mexico, and Canada, for them thing done in already. They are done, they're already qualified for the World Cup. But then there are 3 more spots that you can qualify automatically for. So there are going to be 3 groups in this final round of the World Cup. Whosoever top the groups automatically qualifies for the World Cup. So the group that we are in, all the teams in that group, because we're a seeded team, will be ranked below us, right? Now, if we win that group, which we should by the law of rankings, then we automatically qualify for the World Cup. And that is what we should be looking to do. We shouldn't be looking to qualify another way. But I think another way that you can qualify is through the playoff route, where if you're, I think it's the best two second place team will go into a playoff round with teams from another confederation, and whosoever win those games qualify for the World Cup as well. So that's another path. But we don't want us to do that. We want to qualify the good way, which is win the group so that we can say, all right, we don't qualify, we can focus on getting ready for the World Cup. That is what we need to do. And no bother with nothing else. Yeah, early be that one meeting. He has to help decide. Yeah, of course. We definitely need Mr. Greenwood. No, you know what I mean? Not later. You see me? Yeah. If you don't play with the team, you should make it. It's not right. No national side will do that. The fans want to band with him. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't want to see him come in later and not, not. I wouldn't want to see him come in later and not be here before we qualify for the World Cup, and then come, after we qualify, come say, yo, yeah, I'm ready to play for Jamaica now. No, let them on that. Come now, and nobody come. And trust me, that'll come from somebody that would love nothing more than seeing Mr. Greenwood in the team. But I mean, if you're going to come later, I joke think that. Isn't it? If it's not paperwork, Greenwood see 2030. See him opposite to. Isn't it? Yep, I'm going to watch the first game at Stadium in September, and I want to see us play a strong team like Honduras or Curacao. Okay. want the part of least resistance. That is what me want. I want to make sure Jamaica have a tendency for don't live up to them expectations sometimes, and me don't want to risk that happening. You get me? I don't want to risk that happening. So would I rather get a team where we know so we will beat. You see me? You remember what happened in the under 17 World Cup, even though this is the senior team, the under 17 World Cup, we did just need to beat El Salvador. And we end up making El Salvador beat we. And now El Salvador gone to the World Cup over we. I know that hurt me. So I don't want to make it too difficult and then we'll go far below the team. You see me? Through the game World Cup I'm going. You see everybody a fiend. You have to clarify that there. You see me? I don't care if he comes now or later. I just need him to come into Jamaica because he is young. So okay, so Lee, you are saying that you good with Mesa Greenwood even if him come after we qualify for the World Cup. I mean, anyway, I don't even want to go down the road then because I guess because of his you know, how big him is, you're gonna have people who will be good with him coming. I know that. You're gonna have people who good with him coming same way, even if him come later. But it does not feel like that fear bridging. Like, because if you can come now and you choose not to come, you see me? And then after we qualify, you want to come. I'm not so sure I'm good with that. We don't come in the final round, that's it. Yeah. That's what me feel too. Yeah. Yeah. Remember other man on the side. A PhD. Okay. You give him to a man that never. Yeah. Pretty much. If you have the man them what they on the site at work every day, PhD come, you pay them man there, and you pay the other man whenever they come work. Neither too. I'm not so sure I want that. I want to see me if he's coming, come now. That is what me say. If him is coming, come now. You see me? Yeah. That would have been joke thing. That would have been joke thing. You get better players after we qualify. Trust me. If you get a Jacob Ramsey from Villa after we qualify, if we get Jacob Ramsey after we qualify, well, here are the thing with Jacob Ramsey now. First of all, Jacob Ramsey, me feel say them man they have aspirations of playing for England. Right? Secondly, I honestly don't even really think it would have been fair. I don't think so. I don't think it would be fair. But no, I guess you're gonna have more interest when we qualify for the World Cup. But how fair is that for a man? All right, let's go down that road. Sanjay Brooks. Saying Jacob Ramsey is a winger, right? And him come and say, yo, yeah, after we qualify for the World Cup, want to play for Jamaica. I'm ready for play for Jamaica now. You see me? Which winger would you drop for Jacob Ramsey? Let's say Mesa Green would come. You see me? Mesa Green forward. You see me? Come play. And we have Mesa Greenwood, Liam Bailey, Demari Gray, Ronaldo Cephas, and Bobby Reid. You see me? And Jacob Ramsey come and say, yo, I'm ready for play for Jamaica now. Which one of them you gonna take out? Because me know so me not take out nobody. Me I keep them one that did it when we did do go through. Me not take out nobody for Jacob Ramsey. Him can come play for we in the Nations League, but me not take him out. You see me? Me all right. Let's go down the midfield road. I'll come back. Let's go back to he can also play midfield, which is a problem here. Fine. So you have Casey Palmer, you have Jonathan Russell, you have Isaac Hayden, and you have Bobby Reid, which again, I call Bobby Reid again because him play both wing and play the midfield. And you have the Mari Gray too, who play both wing and midfield too. You see me? Which one of them Monday you would have take out for Jacob Ramsey? Because as far as I am concerned, you can leave dog. You're mad. You can leave out Casey Palmer. Even though Casey Palmer they did it the whole time for we. You could have so Casey Palmer did it the whole time for we. Through World Cup qualifying, through Gold Cup, through all of that. You see me? And then now we're gonna take him out and put in Jacob Ramsey. Nah, me not do that. Me wouldn't do that. Me wouldn't do that at all. You see me? But now Jacob Ramsey can come. You see me? Him can come after we qualify for World Cup. But me certainly wouldn't take out nobody for him. I use the man them what get us there. You see me? The man them what get us we there, and them man them what I use. You see me? Mason Greenwood, I don't even want to say it because I don't want him to do it. But I guess a player like a Mason Greenwood probably would have been the only person I could have said bring it in. But I personally don't feel like say would I do that neither. I personally wouldn't do it. But if it was done, I could understand it because of the level of the player. He's such a high level player that I can understand if he was brought in. But I personally wouldn't do it. But definitely not Jacob Ramsey. Wouldn't take on nobody for Jacob Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey is not giving us any more ability than somebody like I not see him give it. No. I not see him than Demari Gray or Liam Bailey or Ronaldo Cephas or even Bobby Reid. I'm not giving nothing significantly more. You see, Mason Greenwood is giving us something significantly more. So that's why I could understand that. Even though again, personally, I wouldn't. We need depth to remember players get injured and always say they have family obligations. No, okay, I get that, but I'm saying that in the absence of all of that, if we don't have anybody being absent, everybody's fit and rearing to go, and everybody can go, everybody's on farm, all of that. That is what I talk about. I could have missed you after we qualify. No guy should come change for. All right. So in the exception is if we have injury problems. If we have injury problems, then yes, I can make that exception. If we have injury problems and people are not on farm, they're not playing for their clubs and all of that, I can make that exception. Yeah, we did good this already. Your heart is not in it if you can't play. No, long time Bailey I tell Rams if come play and him ignore. Right. Yeah, a long time. I'm pretty sure say Ramsey get approached by Jamaica already. I'm pretty sure say them approach Ramsey already. It's been all them man want a free trip to World Cup with no previous work with the team. Sure, but because of a big name. Yeah. Again, let me say, we're not going to drop anyone, but we're going to cap time. We can cap time, but not in the World Cup though. We're not going to cap time in the World Cup. You see me? What me I say is this. Barring injury and some other legitimate reason why a player can't make it, meaning that he's not on farm, he's not playing, for him club anymore, or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not bringing nobody else for down there now. You see me? I'm not bringing nobody else for down there now. That is how me feel about it. This is the national team. We need the best of the best. Players come and players go. No, that's what I'm saying. If somebody fall off farm, if somebody injured and all of that, we can work with that. But if you are somebody like if you have somebody that you can complain now, you choose not to, and they know that we qualify, you want to come and play. I'm not so sure about that. Lee, in a year's time, Tyrese Hall a beat Ramsey, but I think Jamaica side that joke side they are building something special. Yeah, I feel it. I think this team, this is the best I've seen Jamaica team in a while. This is the best I've seen Jamaica team in a while, and I think we stand a good chance of making a deep run in the World Cup, in the Gold Cup, and we will qualify for the World Cup. if you put in good work with the national team throughout the qualification process, you're supposed to be a part of the World Cup squad, right? I'm gonna drop my body. You can, but can you put yourself in a them man the shoes where they are work with we for go work for go work up. Your blood, sweat, and tears with them. You see me? And then time for go World Cup now. It bad enough if you're injured, because you still it's still a bother you, you're hurt because you're gonna say yo Jano Star, you come and do all of them work and I could have go World Cup and I get an injury and that me can't go. You're gonna feel bad, but at least that is a legitimate reason. But can you believe if you put in all that blood, work, sweat, and tears, right? You put in all of that work if you go to the World Cup, and you see me, and you're still there on farm, you're not injured, not like that, and a man will sit down on the sideline all the time, come make the side over you. No, Bridging. I don't believe in that. Only if something wrong with me, only if me injured, only if me drop so badly off farm that it just clear say bringing me would be wouldn't help the team. More to feel good about that as a player. So hold on, coming like a used thing. Then isn't it? What a used thing? Where you say a used thing? Is it make a use thing go on? No, you can't come use. You can't use Jamaica thing. Mikey Ballin, bless up yourself. No exception for injuries that player would be a wagonist. Well, the thing is, what I say about injury is if you don't have anybody if you replace that player there, then you know what I mean, you might have to go get somebody whenever they did it, but it still would have look away. If your man just walking on the side when we qualify for World Cup. Especially if it's a player that could have come a long time ago and never did come. You know what I mean? If it's a player where they find a problem for getting passport in and all of that, it does no, I don't know. If me and Casey Palmer or Bobby Reed or Cephas, you see me, or Latibodir, or Damian Lowe, and me help the team through blood, sweat, and tears, no, sir. I can't just walk in on my side just because you play, you see me, just because you're playing a big side. You should have come before we qualify. And then you can play me out of my game then time there. But it would have been woefully unfair if you just walk in on the side just for the World Cup. You see me? Jamaica use the man for qualify and then cut. And don't bring him a World Cup. Yeah, that would have been used. That would have been used thing. You see me? That would have been used thing. You see me? So Mason case is a special case because of what he went through. I don't blame him for taking his time. All right. I kind of agree with you, but for a different reason. I agree with you for a different reason. Mason Greenwood is a special case because his level is high. For me, you get me? He has a very, very high. Him coming to the team would give us something so much more, greater than what we have now, because we don't have anybody. There's nobody on our team right now that we can say is on the same level as Mason Greenwood. I'm pretty sure say all of us would agree with that. There's nobody on our team now that's on the same level as Mason Greenwood. You get me? So if he comes a little bit later, I wouldn't like it. But I could understand it. I don't want it to happen, so I don't want nobody get me confused. I wouldn't like if Mason Greenwood would wait until we qualify for the World Cup and then come and play. I want him come now. But because his level is so high and he would give us something bigger than what we have, I can understand it. But if we're talking about anybody else, you better come right now. And that include Mason Greenwood too. That include him too. We reach World Cup as a team, we lose as a team. Mason Greenwood would be of very low morals if you also want that people have a sense of pride. Yeah, I mean, it needs to come. It needs to forward right now. Joe Grant say, and big up yourself, Joe Grant. Players like Amari and Billy Kadamatari I need to see about the team. Yeah, I come off of it. Me need not worry about them Monday right now. Because, Omari Hutchinson, we damn near there beg him to come and play for Jamaica and him leaving. But hiatus. I guess him there wait for play for England. And it not look like, at least not anytime soon, he will have a chance to play for England. But if he had come and play for us, he would probably get a chance to go to the World Cup. Yeah, he would have definitely stand a chance of going to the World Cup. But I mean, he make him choice. Right now, I don't really miss him. I don't really think he would have given us anything greater than who we have right now. I think we have very good players because Hutchinson is going back to the championship right now. We have players in the championship, so we're good. Omari Hutchinson good, and Billy Karamatiri. Right now, we're good with Roman Burrell and Warner Brown and Tyrese Campbell. So I'm gonna miss them Monday. Him for come play him is not good for me. Come earn him spot just like everybody else. Yeah. Him for come earn him spot like everybody else for real. Hutchinson came at Jamaica side. If you wanted him the side of improve. Yeah, of course. For real. So people, yeah man, thank you for passing through today. It was good talking some football, and honestly, I will be back on more no, because the not as busy as I was in the past. So I'll definitely be back on more. I will go 2 hours and 30 minutes. Whoa. The plan was just for go 1 hour today. But it did nice talking about everything. I liked how everything went yesterday. We had a good Jamaica played a good game yesterday. The coach is doing a good job. And we need to be patient and understanding with the coach because he's going to need to rotate the players. He's going to need to rotate them. So sometimes he's not going to always start the Unity Cup squad. We need to be accepting of that. So anyway, people, it was a nice live. Thank you for being here. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And until next time, walk good and take care of yourself. And I will see you next time. Take care, everybody. I'm out.